We've all seen them. They're kind of hiding in plain sight. Those half-finished buildings that just dot the landscape, sitting there, silent, slowly decaying. But the source material for today's explainer, well, it calls these projects something much, much more unsettling.
And boom, right from the start, our source cuts straight to the heart of it. These aren't just failed projects. They're described as literal symbols of a problem that runs much, much deeper.
Just think about your own area for a second. That half-built stadium, you know the one. Or those water pipes that were laid down but never connected to anything. That road that just stops. This isn't some abstract idea. It's a physical reality that we all drive past every day.
So that really leaves us with two huge questions, right? First, why does this keep happening? And second, what on earth can we do about it? This explainer is built to answer those questions, first by really digging into the problem, and then by looking at a potential path forward.
All right, first things first. We need to get our heads around the sheer scale of this. Just how big is this problem? How much public money and potential are we actually talking about here?
I mean, it's the obvious question, isn't it? It's the logical place to start. But the answer, or maybe I should say the lack of an answer, is a massive part of the problem itself.
And this is where it gets really crazy. According to our source, there's no official list, no central database keeping track of all this. You could almost say this lack of tracking feels, well, deliberate. It makes accountability nearly impossible. So it's left up to citizens to piece it all together. And when they do, the estimated cost is just staggering.
Thousands of crores. Let that sink in for a second. It's like there's a shadow budget out there producing nothing but rust and weeds. We're talking about public money, your money, just locked away in concrete and steel that serves absolutely no one.
Okay, so how on earth does this even happen? I mean, a project doesn't just decide to abandon itself. The source actually lays out this predictable and, let's be honest, pretty cynical cycle.
The road to ruin, it turns out, is shockingly simple. It often starts with a big inauguration, a photo op for some good press. Then the first chunk of money flows out. But once the funds are, let's say, extracted, the work just stops. The project is left to rot. And the final, absolutely crucial step in this whole cycle? Zero accountability.
Which brings us to the most critical question in this whole mess. If the system is so clearly failing, surely somebody, an official, a contractor, is facing some kind of consequence for this massive waste of public funds, right?
And the answer the source gives is just brutal. None. Absolutely none. And that right there is the broken link in the chain. It's the reason this cycle can just repeat itself over and over and over again.
Now, the cost isn't just those thousands of crores sitting in that shadow budget. There's a hidden cost, a different kind of cost, and you could argue it's even more devastating. It's like a hidden tax on every single citizen.
Economists have a name for this. It's called opportunity cost. And what it really means is it's not just about the money that was wasted, it's about everything that money should have been used for instead.
This slide really makes it painfully clear. Think about it like this. Every single half-finished stadium could have been a fully functional new school. Every one of those useless water systems could have been a modern hospital wing. And every road to nowhere represents a village that still doesn't have clean water. This right here is the true human cost of these failures.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem. It's huge, it's systemic, and the costs are enormous. So what now? Do we just throw our hands up? Well, the source material doesn't just complain. It actually proposes a solution, a real plan for citizens to take action.
The whole framework is this really smart, three-tiered strategy. It starts with investigation, just gathering the facts, documenting everything, taking pictures, and filing right-to-information requests, or RTIs, to get the official data. The next step is advocacy, forming local committees to create sustained public pressure. And finally, you move to legal and political action. You use all that evidence to file public interest litigations. Those are PILs, which are legal actions taken in court for the public's benefit. And you make this a make-or-break election issue. It's a real bottom-up strategy for change.
And we're not talking about vague wishes here. The source outlines very specific, concrete demands. A central tracking unit to close that information gap. Regular public status reports so everyone knows what's going on. Court-ordered timelines to force a decision. Either you finish it or you tear it down. And finally, using your vote to back candidates who are actually committed to ending this mess.
So, as we start to wrap this up, the core message becomes crystal clear. The only way to turn these ruins into resolutions is through informed, organized, and relentless citizen action.
Let's just come back to this quote for a second, because it really says it all, doesn't it? It's a stark reminder of the personal stake that every single one of us has in this. It's your money, it's your lost school, it's your lost hospital wing.
And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. Knowing about the problem, being angry about it, that's not enough. The real challenge, the one laid out by our source, is to take this information and transform it into a collective voice that simply cannot be ignored.
Ultimately, the question this explainer leaves us with is all about the future. Will these structures just keep standing as monuments to what went wrong? Or can they become something else? Can they become symbols of the exact moment when citizens decided to take their power back? The choice, as the source argues, is really up to us.